Welcome to the System Simplified podcast, where we feature top leaders who share stories on how to successfully systemize a business. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hello, Adi Klevit here, the host of the System Simplified podcast, where I feature top founders, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders about systematizing a business. And today's episode is being brought to you by Business Success Consulting Group, where we create, document, optimize, and implement processes and procedures so companies can grow and thrive. And today's guest is Nikki Ostrower. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You are very welcome. Thank you for being a guest on this podcast. And I want to give a big shout out to Brett Knopf, who introduced us.
Amazing. Yes, he is
Exactly.
a friend and we've done some work together.
That's awesome. Well, I am going to introduce you, read your bio, but I'm really excited about this conversation because we're going to talk about health and we're going to talk about how health relates to the workplace. And we're also going to talk about your amazing entrepreneurial journey. And after I read your bio, our listeners will understand what I'm talking about. So let me do that.
Amazing.
So Nikki, you're the founder of NAO Wellness, a premier corporate wellness company delivering transformative programs to leading organizations. So you work with leading organizations like American Express and JP Morgan and Hitachi, but you also work with all sizes of businesses in order to drive wellness into the workplace.
Exactly.
And you're also the co-founder of Lice Mamas. And anyone who had a kid, they cannot relate to it and understand that. I mean, we all went through like searching for the lice and seeing if, they can go to school or not go to school. And if they get, infected one from another, it's a nightmare. So Lice Mamas is a trusted NYC-based, New York City-based, and nationwide lice treatment and prevention company, and the creator of DIY acupressure ear seeds kit, which I love. I love acupressure, especially in the ear. I mean, there are different places where you can actually press and it totally relaxes you. It totally relieves the pressure, the strain, the anxiety, whatever it is. It's it's a great method of self-handling all those emotions that are, basically you want to avoid or prevent or not have to experience. And so you have this acupressure ear seeds kit, a modern wellness tool rooted in ancient healing for stress relief, focus, and balance. With over 17 years in the wellness space, Nikki, you're passionate about creating innovative, accessible solutions that empower healthier, happier communities. That's amazing. It's an amazing purpose, first of all. So I want to let you know, I definitely admire you for doing that and for taking it and making it into your entrepreneurial journey.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So I'm curious, I always like to start with your journey. How did it start? How did you get to where you're at today? What motivates you?
Absolutely. So it actually started about 20 years ago, and I was working in the corporate space for a Fortune 100 company, Ricoh, which sells copiers, printers, and software solutions. And I was doing it door to door in Manhattan in a 2-block radius. And
Like literally knocking on doors, like entering it. Yes.
or getting an appointment in a building and then they tell you to take the elevator all the way up to the top floor, knock on doors, and make your way down. And so I got introduced, I got doors slammed in my face, but I also got introduced to every single type of vertical market. And while understanding their, document solution woes, I also understand that everyone, including myself, was dealing with health stuff and not truly understanding how to take care of themselves in the workplace. I ended up burning out with my own health, eating disorder specific, and I ended up going into treatment in Arizona for 6 weeks, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I ended up coming out of treatment and I had to take some time off. because I really truly needed to still continue to heal, work on my recovery. And after about a year of continuous recovery of my eating disorder, I decided I wanted to go back to school and study and give back what was so freely given to me. So I ended up getting certified in integrative nutrition, and I started up shop in my Hell's Kitchen apartment, seeing one-on-one clients with eating disorders only, and also corporate nutrition. And that is because those were the two things that really, really spoke to me and that I was passionate about. So you're going to hear a continuous theme of turning pain into passion and purpose. And so, as the time went on, folks were coming for way more than just eating disorders and also nutrition. So the company just ended up growing organically, where we started to add nutritionists. I got an office space and a chiropractor's office, and then my own office space, a medical doctor on the team, nurses for labs. And then I ended up getting pregnant after 7 years. Not trying after seven, but after 7 years, and I was sick my entire pregnancy. And so at that point, I had a team and I had systems in place, and I would tell every single nutritionist, nurse, and medical team, do not contact me unless there is an issue. And I was literally laying on my couch for 9 months straight, nothing catastrophic. I just was nauseous 24/7. And then a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh my God, if you have the right people, processes, and systems in place, magic happens. I did not, for the first time in 7 to 8 years, literally could just focus on myself while the business worked like a well-oiled machine. And
That's amazing. First of all, I want to really tell you, this is incredible. I mean, that's a story that every entrepreneur wants to hear. It's inspiring, and it's well done to you for creating that.
yeah, I always also know that if I don't know how to do something, then I need to reach out and get the support to help me to do it. And I'm not afraid to ask for help. And that was actually one thing that recovery taught me. So, recovery taught me not only a lot of things about my own health and my own journey, but really about business as well, because you can use those same tools and apply them to all areas of your life. And so after I had this magical home birth and hired an entirely crunchy team that was amazing, but I'm type A, my baby never ended up taking a bottle. So that's when the light bulb moment went off, and I was like, oh my God, I need all my favorite people, places, and services. And I need to create a wellness center, but within a 5-minute walk from my apartment in the West Village and on a tuna fish budget. So just so you know, so your readers know, my husband and I come from nothing. We don't have family money. We came from negative money. So everything that we generated, it was based on really truly understanding that whenever you're passionate about something, you can put it into work and the money will come. And so I went out to see real estate in the West Village, and I was like, wow, I can't afford anything. And then it was the last place I saw. And essentially, it was two family members who were like, we like you and we believe in you. So you can have this basement of our brownstone. Never thought I wanted a basement, but when you walk in, it just felt like a giant hug. And you just know when you know. So that's also where a little bit of the intuition also comes to play. And so again, I had no experience with commercial real estate, no experience with construction and everything that would it take for New York City zoning and building a wellness center and the scope that I wanted. But again, I reached out to everyone and everything, and there I'm like, if you don't know, who knows? If you don't know, who knows? And what systems? And that was also where I had to really kick it up a notch with the systems, from booking systems to training to employees versus contractors, SOPs. And 8 months later, the wellness center was ready to open. And that was from, we opened our doors in 2017 before COVID, and we had everything from infrared sauna, We had a medical doctor on our board, so we did IVs, lab testing, to more of the woo-woo that no one knew about: sound healing, breath work, Reiki, 5 nutritionists, chiropractor, events and workshops. And we truly built a community where people met their best friends and partners. It was truly magical. And then COVID hit. So what was incredible about COVID, I'm always all about making lemonade. So at first I was truly freaking out. And this is also where the ear seed kits come into play. So we always did the ear seeding at the wellness center, and we had a really cute retail wall at the wellness center, but I never thought to sell the ear seeds. And they were also new. No one knew what they were. And when I went to go check the snail mail at the wellness center with shelter in place, snail mail, never good mail, I saw the ear seeds. So I brought them home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to ear seed. I ended up quarantining with another family in my building who I didn't actually know, but a neighbor introduced us. And, New York City, no one in our building stayed except for me and this other family. And she also had a daughter, my daughter's age. And they ended up becoming best friends. Her and I ended up becoming COVID besties. And we ended up ear seeding each other. And we're like, we're going to ear seed each other for stress, anxiety, and libido. Because who has a sex drive with 4-year-olds running around in COVID? And I posted it on my Instagram, and they ended up going viral 4 times. Oh, well, before that, that was when basically I decided to create the kit and hire an acupuncturist, because people are like, where could we get these things? So I hired the acupuncturist, they made the kit. And then after I made the kit and posted about it, that's when they went viral. Because truly, not only are they healing, they're fashionable, and they're somewhat, right, affordable compared to other wellness modalities. Wellness that you can do it yourself within 5 to 10 minutes. So that's about the ear seeds. And then I'm going to fast forward, because my COVID bestie who lives in my building called me up 2 years ago, and she was like, Nikki, you'll never believe it. I was in the Hamptons with a bunch of my girlfriends. All of my girlfriends have daughters. So it was just the girls' weekend that they have tradition and do every summer. And she was like, we all have lice. She's like, and number 1, I can't get an appointment. And number 2, I got all this stuff from Amazon. And if I'm having trouble doing it, because she's an esthetician, she also has her own beauty brand. And she doesn't mind fussing. She's like, if I find this hard and I can't get an appointment. And when she did get an appointment, the clinic was not great. And they charged by the hour. It was just not a great situation. So Nicole's like, we should do this, like joking around. And I was like, no, we should do this. And like the light bulb went off. And so literally that was August of 2023. October of 2023, we were LLC'd. We were the first to bring the FDA cleared medical device, which is a heated air medical device that kills the nits. And so we're able to do treatment within 1 hour. Our clinic is super cute. And if you don't want to come to the clinic, we actually have a mobile heated air device. So we can treat all over Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn. And we're about to open up our second location this month, right on Court Street in Brooklyn. So we are growing by leaps and bounds. We have a whole product line. Everything we do is non-toxic. We have a medical doctor. We take out-of-network health insurance as well as HSA, FSA cards. And we are here. Our mission is to modernize lice treatment, but also break the judgment, the stigma, and the fear around it. And we have 8 people on our team, and they've been with us since day one. And Adi, the reason is because we have amazing systems in place where our techs actually love working for us, and we're all a giant family.
Nikki, that's amazing. I have to stop you right here, because this is such an amazing story, first of all. And it's a story of true entrepreneurship. It's a story of grit. It's a story of not giving into any stops or barriers, but pushing through them or believing in yourself. And I'm sure there were moments of self-doubt, but you push through and good things happened. And I love how you say, like, the systems really pushed you to get it done, but you are really doing it the right way in terms of like, you are not really immersing yourself in the business, but you let good people, good culture, and it's not just the people, it's also the culture you are creating, but it's you are emanating and creating that culture with systems, and then you are actually able to expand and have 3 successful businesses.
Amen to that.
That's really what it is. So that's an incredible story. It's really the story of how systems allowed you to grow and scale and overcome all the obstacles.
Exactly. I mean, there's only so much that I can do, that Nicole and I can do. So it's so important that we work on the business, not in the business.
Correct. That's exactly right. And there is also the point of, you have a good purpose. It's not just a business. It's rooted in your own personal belief. It's rooted in your story. And it's a purpose that you want to carry forward in order to make it a better world.
100%. Absolutely. Everything that we do is truly rooted in purpose. We also give back to those that can't afford our services as well. From the refugees to shelters to free eating disorder support groups. We're always working on giving back as well.
That's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So our listeners probably now want to know, how can they get a hold of you? They want to know more about your companies and what you can do. They want to get in touch with you. How can they do that?
Absolutely. So the 2 businesses, NAO Wellness, the corporate wellness, as well as the ear seeds, is just naowellness.com. And Lice Mamas is licemamas.com. Super easy.
That's fantastic. That is really good. So if we have listeners outside of New York area, can they also take advantage of that and use your services?
Yep. So we offer everything virtual. So we have virtual corporate workshops. So we service not only nationwide, but also worldwide. And then our treatment product line for Lice Mamas, as well as our prevention product line, that is on Amazon. We're on direct to consumer, and we also are on wholesale on Fair. And you can find us in a bunch of boutiques. So
fantastic. Okay, good. So I encourage our listeners to go to the website, check it out, get in touch with Nikki, get in touch with her staff, and find out more. Nikki, again, thank you so much for being a guest on this podcast. It was a fantastic, fantastic conversation, very inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the System Simplified podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.